We've got a motor tip for you today that's really kind of fun and slightly fall inspired, or at least it could be. It's all about fine motor today, and that tripod grasp that we want our children to start to develop, that's going to help them with all of the writing that they have to do, and a lot of other skills too. Look, they can't be a surgeon if they can't do this, right? And some of our kids might want to be surgeons, but at least in the beginning it's going to help them with their coloring skills, and it's going to help them with their writing skills. If we want to tackle the muscles that it takes to do the tripod grasp to write their name, and we're going to wait until it's time that we want them to write their name, we're going to be met with frustration. So how can we develop these muscles in something different from handwriting and help our kids to get stronger, so when it's time to do the handwriting, it's less frustrating and more reinforcing, and make the task that we're going to do to strengthen the muscles reinforcing? We're going to do push-pin art. Push-pin art. I can't even say it. Push-pin art. That's what we're going to do. You may see this is a really popular activity that OT people will do. You can take any shape, and what I've got here, and I did this at home on my computer, I created some shapes and made a pumpkin. I think you can see it. And I did this first one with dots, because the first time I'm going to teach this to a child, I might need to make it easier for them so that they see exactly where they need to push. But once they get the hang of it, you don't have to do this anymore. You can go to any dollar store and get I want to say coloring books. That's the phrase that I want. Coloring books or anything like that that has a thick, dark line, or you can download anything online. If they're really into Buzz Lightyear, there are coloring book pages for Buzz Lightyear online that you can download, and every single other character under the sun. You download them, and again, I think it's important, you know, the first time a child's doing it, especially if they've been struggling with this kind of thing, do the dots. And we can give you this template as well if you would like it for the pumpkin. But what you're going to do, and if you see I've got some tips here, we want to make sure that we supervise our children when we do this. This is not an activity that you send your child to do on their own while you're cooking dinner, because you're going to give them a very sharp little push pin. Now, why this? First of all, we want them to have success, so we want them to be able to poke through, and because it's so short, it doesn't give them the opportunity to wrap their hands around and hold it any other way than to do it in a tripod grasp. You know, on the show before we've said when you're working on the tripod grasp and you're teaching colors and using crayons and coloring, when you break the crayons off, it forces the tripod grasp. So this is perfect, but it's sharp. So we're never, ever, ever going to leave a child to do this on their own. And we're going to make sure that physical prompts, if we have to show them exactly what we need to do, because we don't want a child stabbing themselves. So always, always supervise. The next thing we want to do is to take this template and put it on short ply carpet. Why? Because otherwise we're going to have the child stabbing furniture or something else like that. But short and really thick, dense ply carpet is going to make it too hard and the page is going to move around. But short ply carpet is really ideal for this. So find the place in your house where this is going to be the most convenient. It's not going to hurt the carpet, especially if you're supervising. And what you're going to encourage the child to do is to start somewhere in the picture, and they don't have to do the whole picture in one setting. If they poke 5 holes and they're done, that's fabulous, but you're going to have them come back to it maybe later on. And what the child does is they poke a hole through each one of the dots. Now, if you've got the coloring book page, you're just going to have them, and I'm demonstrating this just so that you can see. But if it's coloring book page, they can poke as many holes as they want, but make sure they space them apart a little bit, because we're not trying to create a rip in the paper. We're trying to create holes. When we're done, what's really exciting is to take this when it starts to get dark that night and put it over a lampshade or something else and make the rest of the room dark so that they can see the picture glows. It's very reinforcing to some kids. If it isn't reinforcing, and even if it is reinforcing, make sure that you're pairing it with praise and saying what a great job and displaying their artwork, because if they don't right now, over time, they will start to be reinforced by that. But a lot of kids, there's something sensory about when the light pokes through the holes and they know that they did it. There is a pride that comes with that. Especially this time of year, there are a lot of you'll see they have these kinds of templates to be done on the side of a pumpkin. And if you have pumpkins in your area, you can certainly do that as well with the pumpkin. Hold the picture up to the pumpkin and have them poke through, or you can just take the templates that go for the pumpkin and have the child do them on your carpet and hang them around the house. If you take and hang them in a window that you light up, so that you tape this against the window, when people walk by, they will see the shapes shining through. It's very exciting for some of our kids. And of course, you could do that with other holidays as well. It'll work with any size shape, but a push pin and some kind of a template, short ply carpet, and you're really working on that tripod grasp. You're really going to see it's much easier to work on handwriting if you do a lot of this. You can't do too much of it, but you do need to supervise every time you do it because the push pin is sharp. Tripod grasp, push pin art, it's a really good thing.